90-Day Fiance. Happily Ever After. Sneak peek. Darcey drops a bombshell about greedy Georgi. Hello friends L and Wordly Wise, welcome to my channel. For the latest news update please subscribe the channel and press bell icon. Darcey Silva and Georgi Rusev's marriage sure can get a little complicated these days. In News Weekly's exclusive sneak peek of the Sunday, October 5th, episode of 90-Day Fiance. Happily Ever After, Darcey, 51, shocks her twin sister, Stacey Silva, with an update on her living situation. It's not been great, just been really trying to tolerate each other, Darcey says when describing her marriage. It's not been easy. After coming home from a visit to Bulgaria, Darcey explained that rent was due. The only problem was that Georgi, 37, appeared hesitant to give his wife half of the payment. 90-Day Fiance's Darcey Silva considering a makeunder for the boobs after turning 50 inches. He wasn't responding to my messages, she claims. I was trying to communicate about it with him because now he wants half the money back for Bulgaria. While Stacey is visibly shocked by the allegations, Darcey says the finances have put a strain on the relationship. Darcey Silva and Georgi Rusev, courtesy of TLC, it's so not okay because I've always been there for him, providing over the years, she explains. I paid the rent, I paid the bill to pay cable, electric, all that stuff, food, going out, whatever, traveling. That's not okay. Just be giving and gracious about it. Although Darcey tries not to get upset, Stacey can't help but share her real feelings on the situation. As she proclaims, greedy mother f *******. Wow. In another plot twist, Darcey reveals that she had to put her husband on a group chat with her dad in hopes of getting the rent payment. Darcey Silva and Georgi Rusev, courtesy of Georgi Rusev, Instagram, I had to put daddy on a group text, just to say, hi Georgi, it's Darcey. Can you please pay your share of the rent? It's due today. So he did, Darcey reveals. He actually sent me the money soon after that because he wasn't answering me before that. TLC producers quickly backed up Darcey's sequence of events by showcasing a text believed to be from the reality star. Hi Georgi, can you please send your share of the rent money if possible? The text reads, I would greatly appreciate it. I've been waiting patiently for a while. Thank you for understanding and everything. Love you. So why did Georgi finally agree to pay up? In a confessional interview, Darcey shares her theory as to what got him to ultimately step up. 90-Day Fiance. Happily Ever After. Mid-season teaser. Tears flow for Brandon, Jasmine and Darcey. It's a big deal about getting the rent money, and it's kind of embarrassing that I have to include my dad, but I feel like that's the only thing that I could do too. You know, help me kind of nudge him so he can just take action, Darcey explains. Whenever I include my dad in a text message, I feel like he does it right away. He doesn't want to disappoint my dad, but he doesn't mind disappointing me. As for how many times Darcey has had to involve her dad, she replies, I can't count on my hand. But, you know, there's been other instances. It's a big deal. 90-Day Fiance. Happily Ever After. Airs on TLC Sundays at 8 p.m. ET husband refused to host wife's distant relatives for another free vacation. Never even heard a thank you. A man said he paid for every meal and drove a cousin around during a 4-night visit. Despite never having met her, he wrote on Reddit that the cousin's family now wants to bring 4 more relatives for a surprise visit to stay at his house. The man insisted they rent a hotel and drive themselves, calling the expectation of a free vacation, putting me out. A man turned to Reddit for advice after refusing to host relatives-in-law for an expense-free vacation, sparking tension with his wife's family. The man, recently retired, felt caught in the middle of family dynamics he never asked to navigate. Over the course of a 30-year marriage, he and his wife have hosted many family members at their home. Recently my wife's cousin contacted her and said she would like to come out to visit the family, he wrote, noting that his wife's mother and sisters live nearby and always bully my wife into getting their ways. Since his wife and her sisters work, he is expected to pick the cousin up from the airport. I've never met or seen pictures of this person, so I'm told to hold a sign like a chauffeur, he said, adding that the cousin immediately requested food. She said she was starving and asked if we could get something to eat. He paid for the first meal and assumed the cousin might contribute later. Instead, he ended up covering every breakfast, lunch and dinner, as well as food at family events, noting that even at a picnic where everyone else chipped in, she didn't contribute a thing. Despite his efforts, he never heard a word of thanks from his guest. Her entire 4-night stay was free. I never even heard a thank you, he said, explaining that he also drove her everywhere she wanted to go during the visit. The situation escalated when the cousin's sister emailed his wife about the fun her sister had. So now that cousin, and her other 2 sisters, want to bring their mother for a surprise visit for my mother-in-law, he wrote of the 4 additional uninvited guests. He drew a hard line. If they were close family I would have no problem with this, but I have never met them, he said, explaining that even a close cousin warned them this branch of the family is known for mooching. His wife struggled to mediate, and he refused to host strangers again. I told her she can tell them that I'm being an asshole and I insist they get a rental car and stay in a hotel, he said, emphasizing that it is about more than money, it's about boundaries and respect. He pointed out that his wife's sisters live in a small condo and cannot host the visitors themselves. They said they would contribute money towards food, but to me it's more than that, he wrote, highlighting the expectation that he should accommodate people he doesn't know. 4 more people I have never met, invited themselves to stay in my house and expect me to chauffeur them wherever they want. No way. Get a rental car and stay in a hotel, he declares. After refusing, he became the A in his wife's family. So now this is where I've become the A to my wife's family, he wrote, adding that he planned to take the dog and go camping while the strangers invaded his home. He reflected on the impact of his wife's family dynamics. In defense of my wife, she's the sweetest person you could ever meet, and that's part of the problem because people take advantage of her, he said, noting that she struggles to prioritize her own needs over others. She places her needs last, and mine second to last if others may get their feelings hurt, he wrote, explaining that her nature makes it difficult to confront family members directly. Despite their communication, this time he refused to compromise. I will not support her decision to not push back against her family, and I'm going to leave her with all of the responsibilities that come along with that decision, he said, making his boundaries clear. Never miss a story. Sign up for People's free daily newsletter to stay up to date on the best of what People has to offer, from celebrity news to compelling human interest stories. The man found comfort and support from the Reddit community. One commenter told him, "Inta, but your wife and family surely are," while another added, "Enjoy your camping trip. Don't feel 1 ounce of guilt, va. Li dating his perspective. He expressed gratitude for the encouragement, recognizing the challenge of balancing family loyalty and personal boundaries. Thank you and all the people who replied. I think I just needed to know I had a little support for my actions, he wrote, acknowledging that setting limits can be difficult even when justified. Read the original article on People. Love is Blind. Season 9 sneak peek reveals messiest couple's next fight exclusive. The drama is only just getting started on Love is Blind. Season 9 began with the first batch of episodes last week, introducing 6 couples who got engaged in the pods after several love triangles, love squares, and at least 1 shocking ghosting. Ultimately, 5 couples moved on to the post-pod trip to Mexico. However, trouble in paradise began immediately for fiancés Madison Maidenberg and Joe Ferrucci after he got too drunk at the pool party and made Madison cry later in their room. And Entertainment Weekly has your exclusive sneak peek at the second batch of episodes releasing on Wednesday that reveals Madison and Joe's next fight, officially making them the messiest couple of the season so far. In the exclusive sneak peek below, Madison and Joe begin to have a conversation about introducing each other to their families. But when Joe asks Madison if that ing scares her, it results in them fighting again. It really doesn't take much with this couple. "You're scaring me a little right now," Madison tells Joe. When Joe asks if she has any reservations at all about the accelerated timeline of getting married, she says she does. "But you don't show it," he tells her. "You don't show it at all. I don't see any worry on your face." Madison then asks if Joe wants her to be worried. He replies, "It would make it feel a little bit more human. I feel like it would make it feel like, we're in this together." "I've said that to you," Madison responds. "How many times have I been like, this is so ing crazy right now?" Get your daily dose of entertainment news, celebrity updates, and what to watch with RU Dispatch newsletter. But Joe says that Madison seems so sure about their relationship. Which is probably a good thing, but some of it scares me, he adds. Madison then explains that she knew what she was getting into when she signed up for this show. I knew. I wanted to find my person, she says. So in that sense, I'm not scared, because I thought I was finding that. Watch their fight in the exclusive video below. I was hoping for him to really step up more and show up for me, Madison previously told EW of Joe's behavior after they got engaged. I was the same person there that I was in the pods, and I was starting to see a side that I hadn't seen before, which is a little bit concerning. Has Madison found her person in Joe? Find out where their relationship goes when Love is Blind Season 9 releases episodes 7 to 9 on Wednesday, October 8th, with episodes 10 to 11 on Wednesday, October 15th, and the finale on Wednesday, October 22. Read the original article on Entertainment Weekly. Strictly Come Dancing host forced to apologize for on-air It Takes Two flub. Digital spy. Strictly Come Dancing, It Takes Two host Fleur East had to issue a quick on-air apology tonight after a slip of bad language from one of her guests. The presenter was chatting to content creator George Clark and his professional partner Alexis War when the latter made the mild faux pas. George was discussing the pair's paso doble from last weekend's episode, a routine that scored them an impressive 30 points. Recalling his laser focus during the performance, he said, "I feel like the enjoyment came after it. I feel like I sort of blacked out throughout. We got to the end of the routine and I was like, oh my god, that's, like, the best we've done it." Alexis added that she was so impressed by George's commitment, she almost forgot what she herself was meant to be doing. She said, "Well, at the beginning, he hit his beginning position and I knew right away, like, oh, he's locked in. And I was just, like, yes George, and I almost forgot to go. I went, oh, crap, I have to move. 'Cause I just noticed he was immediately locked in character." Fleur chimed in, "Sorry about the language you just heard there. We just get very excited." George and Alexis actually received the joint second highest score of the night on Sunday, tied with EastEnders favorite Balvinder Sopal and her partner Julian Kalin, who, like Alexis, is a newcomer to the program this year. Related, what's the story behind Tom Skinner's Strictly eviction? Actress Alex Kingston and Johannes Radebe were just ahead with 31 points, while Amber Davies and Nikita Kuzman came out on top when the scores from the first 2 weeks were combined. Speaking on his Useless Hotline podcast, George revealed that he was actually contending with an injury during his routine, sustained while attempting a handstand in the training room. "I didn't want it to be a thing on the night. That's why they asked in the VT, they were like, do you want to mention your back? And I said, I don't want it to be a thing," he explained. "I had a pinched nerve all week in my back. I had acupuncture halfway through the week. I went to physio 4 times. This weekend, he and Alexis will be the first pairing of the series to perform a couple's choice. They'll be dancing to Soda Pop from the hit Netflix film K-pop Demon Hunters as part of the iconic movie Week, which will boast an appearance from former guest judge Cynthia Erivo. Strictly Come Dancing airs on Saturdays on BBC One, while spin-off Strictly, It Takes Two airs on weeknights on BBC Two. Both shows are available to stream on BBC iPlayer. Interested in talking about Strictly? Visit